Hi, welcome to a new episode of the show. Today we're going to focus on something different than comic art. We're going to actually focus on my collection of Batman black and white statues. Okay, last video I'd mentioned that I had quite a few of them and a lot of them signed. So we're going to start taking a look at those. Okay, this series first came out in 2005. So nearly 20 years ago. And I did start collecting them somewhere around that time. So I've got these statues all over the house. Well, actually, I've got them in two rooms. I've got them in sort of our office slash studio, and I've got them in the living room on the bookshelf. So I'm going to start here with the Alex Ross statue. You'll notice some other statues mixed in here, here and there. The Alex Ross is not signed, but the next one is the first Jim Lee statue, which Jim did sign in silver ink and on the black area of the logo, as you can see. This is my favorite Jim Lee black and white statue. He's made three Batman statues, and I have two of them, but that's my favorite one right there. This one I was really happy to get. So I got to meet Joe Kubert at New York Comic Con in 2000, I want to say 2006 or so. And I brought at least the base along with me, and I had him sign this. So this is just a great pose on this too. The likeness of Joe's work is really evident here. So he did a great job. More Star Wars. I got a Lee Bermejo Batman back here. This is actually the second series, and as you can see, there's something's affecting the statue. The paint is coming off. It's coming off the base, and it's coming off of the cape. This was I think this was the second version of the statue, and they were using, I think, a different manufacturer at this time, and the quality was not there. I think they might have changed it, or maybe this was a bad batch, not sure. I'm gonna have to fix that up sometime. Okay, some other things you can see in my collection, some Kiss stuff. Here I've got a Simon Bisley Batman black and white, muscle bound like most of his subjects that he draws. We've got the second Randy Bowen statue. That's quite old. I would say that's like early 90s or so. And we got a Brian Bolland Joker, not signed there. Next to him, I actually have another Joker. It was again one of the early Bowen statues. And that one on underneath the base, I actually had Jerry Robinson sign that. Back to Batman black and white. I got this cool looking Steve Rude Batman black and white statue from when he did, I think he did World's Finest, and he did sort of like a very retro type of Batman. I actually had got a sketch from him of this same image. That's just pretty cool. Down below, next row down, I actually have a cool Captain America signed by creator Joe Simon. This is the Golden Age Captain America. And I also have the Red Skull signed by him too, but he signed it in that same blue ink he signed Captain America in, so it's really difficult to see his signature on there. This nice Miko Suan, I don't know, I'm probably demolishing his name here, but a blank cover, sketch cover that he did for me. Just some things mixed in there. I got a David Finch Batman black and white here. Really great detail. Next to him, I've got one of the first statues that I ever had signed by Brian Bolland, and you can see that at the time I really wasn't taking good care of after getting them signed, making sure I protected the signature, because I smeared a little bit. I think that's the very first one I got signed. Next row down, we've got a Kelly Jones Batman, sort of like his vampire Batman, along with a little sketch on a backing board he did for me a while back. And of course that Batman signed too, like the last couple. I got a Tim Sale Batman. Tim had always such a very distinct style with his Batman. Look at those ears. They're long like Kelly Jones's ears of his Batman. You can see them both side by side. I've got a Neal Adams Man-Bat here, which is a little different. So one of the early villains that they did. This is also signed by his son Spida, who did the sculpt itself. Okay, I got Neal to sign this almost the first week that this was released. They were having New York Comic Con, and he was like so thrilled to see it when I brought it out. This is a really cool item right here. I got like the first appearance of a Robin statue signed by Jerry Robinson, his creator. Also with a facsimile copy of that issue behind them, signed by Jerry also. Over here I got a Mike, I don't know if it's Mignola or Mignola, but a Batman in his style. This is the second release, signed also. And down the bottom shelf here, we've got a Dark Knight Returns statue of a Superman and Batman. This thing's huge. It weighs a ton too. I've got who is this? Cliff Chang Batman with a gun, which is a little bit different. Signed by Cliff. Behind him, I've got the Gary Frank Batman. That's like, I think that's the Earth 1 Batman, essentially, is what that is. You can see him a little better from this side here. Nice sculpt, but I didn't bring him with me when I saw Gary at, where was it? At San Diego Comic Con not too long. Oh, a few years ago. Over to the next, we'll see some of my other signed items up here in between my cases. I've got back here, I've got a Raphael Grandpa. Grandpa. I want to call him Grandpa. Batman, black and white statue, not signed. I don't know how often he comes to the States, if I'll ever get him to sign that. This is that third series of the Batman by Jim Lee there, which is a nice Batman, but it's, you know, it's just him standing, no big deal. Got a Walt Simonson Manhunter. That's actually signed too on the bottom of the base. I got a Greg Capullo Joker from his New 52 series. Some more Star Wars stuff. Another Batman black and white of Gotham Knights, the animated show. I've got another Lee Bermejo Batman black and white statue, this time of the Joker. That Joker story that he did was awesome, the art. And then I got this nice big statue here signed by Carmen Infantino. It's essentially the Silver Age Batman. It's from the Warner Brothers stores. And it's pretty good size. And below, I got a Julie Newmar Catwoman statue. Always loved Julie Newmar. Someday I'm going to get her to sign that. She hasn't done a show in a while. A nice signed Nick Fury of S.H.I.E.L.D. Signed by creator Jim Steranko. He always personalizes his stuff, or at least he used to. He started charging. Gene Colan, original, oh geez, I'm forgetting the character's name now. Captain Marvel, that's right. This is the original Captain Marvel. This is my kind of Marvel case. I don't have a heck of a lot in there. I've got a Jim Starlin Captain Marvel too. He made Captain Marvel a little more popular with that design. I've got an original Wolverine original costume signed by John Romita, who designed Wolverine. It's also, let me see, I believe it's signed by someone else too. Let's see. There it is. I've got it signed by co-creator Len Wein. Okay. That's kind of neat. This is my Star Wars shelf here. Bunch of Star Wars items. Some signed one. Anthony Daniels signed C-3PO statue. And like 5 different actors signed this Boba Fett statue, including Jeremy Bulloch, the original Boba Fett. Okay. And on the bottom shelf, I've got a couple of statues by Dick Sprang, one of Batman, one of the Joker. Of course, they're not signed. He's been gone for a while, but that print in the back is signed by Dick Sprang, so it's kind of displayed with the 2 items. I've got a Mike Allred Batman Black and White here, signed in all red. Robin statue from the original Bone Run, which I had considered getting signed by Neal Adams at one time because he had designed that costume, but just never got around to it. And then I also got over here, I've got who we got? Oh, Darwin Cook. His Batman Black and White. That's a nice image. I actually missed getting him to sign that because I forgot to bring it the time I was with him. The last time I met him at was at WonderCon. Of course, he's gone from us now, unfortunately. And then on the bottom here, I've cleared a little bit of this out. Just some of the statues I'll put on a table just to make it easier. I think it's a Michael Janin sketch cover. Ed McGuinness, Batman Black and White. Very cool pose on that one. And then I got over here Nicola Scott from her, I believe it's from her Earth 2 series, but the Earth 2 Batman. And there's a head sketch she did behind that too. Okay. Up to the table, we've got, this is actually the very first Batman Black and White statue by Eduardo Risso. Okay. And we've got, let me get my list off here. This is my cheat sheets. Then behind him, we've got Sergio Aragonés Batman. Probably similar to the way he's drawn Batman in Mad Magazine. Signed by Sergio. Got another Jim Lee statue, this time signed by Marv Wolfman, the creator of Nightwing. So it was the first Nightwing Batman Black and White statue they did. Next to him, I got a Batman Black and White by Dustin Nguyen, I think is his name. It starts with an N, but I believe it's a silent N. I've got another Neal Adams, Batman, a zombie Batman this time. A little goofy, but it was Neal, so I was like, oh, cool. And I had him sign that in person too. This is one of the other Batman Black and White statues I got signed in the very beginning, David Mazzucchelli. So that was at New York Comic Con, I want to say probably like 2006 or so. Got Dave Johnson, Batman Black and White. Hopefully I can get him to sign that someday soon. It's a nice image. Big cape right next to him. Speaking of big cape, I got Andy Kuberts with a big cape, and this was signed early on too, and I guess he figured he couldn't get it, access to the inside the base, and he just signed it on the cape. It's like the only statue I have signed on the cape, so it's okay. I don't like it quite as much when it's signed on a cape. Another couple of Batmans out here. See if I can get my list going again. Another Jim Lee, Batman black and white, this time of the Joker, signed in gold. We got a Pat Gleason, Batman black and white. We got a, let's see, a Babs Tarr, Batgirl. So that was pretty good, cool. I met her at a special event at what's that called? Nucleus. It's like a little store in Alhambra, a bookstore. Next to her, I got a trio of Harley Quinns. So the one in the front here is signed by creators Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. The one to the right is actually the concept art by Paul Dini of Harley Quinn. And then an Amanda Conner Harley Quinn, which I do still need to get signed by her. Michael Turner, Batman black and white, not signed because he's been gone for quite a while now, rest in peace. But behind him, I've got another Jim Lee Batman statue. This one's not a Batman black and white. It's from the Hush series. It's a full size though. Nice powerful image from the comic book cover. Okay, and behind him I got something a little different. This is a Warner Brothers store statue that I had signed by Val Kilmer, who played Batman in Batman Forever. Not the most detailed statue, but kind of cool just because it's signed by Val. And we got a Todd McFarlane. This is the 100th Batman black and white statue. So it was the 100th one released. And that was 2020. 2020, yeah. Next to him, I got this massive Batman black and white. This is, besides, actually, looks like it's bigger than the, I don't know, it's not quite as heavy as the Todd McFarlane, but the body is definitely bigger. Those arms are massive. You got the first image of Bane as a Batman black and white statue again signed by Kelly Jones, who did the design on the statue. We got a Batman, I believe it's Arkham City statue from the black and white series. I got a Bob Kane, that was from one of the early issues, not signed of course, he's been gone for a while. Next to that, it's not a Batman black and white statue either, but it's a Nightwing statue, the first one they ever came out with. And I've got it signed by both creators, Marv Wolfman and George Perez. And then in the front here, I got this nice Matt Wagner signed Batman black and white statue. So those statues I put on the table because it's kind of hard to access, to get good views of the statues where they were previously, which is a lot of them are here on this shelf. Some are still here because I live in earthquake country, and essentially I've got like what is it, museum wax underneath these to protect them. So I got this Sean Gordon Murphy Batman. This is prior to when he did what's that, White Knight. I got this really cool Dark Knight Returns Batman and Robin. And this, on the base of this, underneath, is actually signed by Frank Miller. I've got a Gerard Way Joker. I met Gerard once, and hopefully he'll be around again so I can get him to sign this. Mark Silvestri, Batman, and again, this is another pretty massive statue. Another Steve Rude signed statue of Catwoman. This is a nice Jay Lee interpretation of Batman in the black and white series. Another Sean Gordon Murphy interpretation, this time of the Joker, who's wearing like a Batman logo on his t-shirt. Got a Marshall Rogers Batman in the back there. Not signed. Again, he passed away quite a while ago. I was lucky enough to get a sketch of the Joker from him. Carmine Infantino signed bust of Batgirl from the 60s. He is the creator. And then over here, a couple of Superman and Batman busts. But this one's kind of neat too. This is Superman again, but signed by Randy Bowen, the sculptor and the guy who started all the statues. He inscribed it, "May your dreams take flight." Okay. We're gonna go on to the living room. Okay. And as we go through, the hallway, you can see I've got some of my favorite art framed and mounted in the hallway. Probably recognize some of this if you've been watching some of my other shows. I usually change out the one that's behind me on the wall. But these are some of my favorites, so they're always up and in the hallway here. Okay, and into the living room. We're above the... So in the living room, above our bookcase, I have some more statues. It starts out with one of Jock, which is, actually this is Dick Grayson as Batman. When Jock was doing those comics, it's signed by him. I've got an Ivan Reis version of Batman Black and White, which has unfortunately succumbed to the temperatures here in California. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a crack in his cape. Okay, over here, I've got a Greg Capullo Batman. I like this pose. It's pretty cool looking. And then the first Bruce Timm Batman Black and White statue, signed by Bruce. That Greg Capullo was signed to, of course. But the Frank Miller Batman in the armored suit is not signed, unfortunately. Nor is the George Perez, which I got later also. I did not get that when it first came out. I totally missed that one. And I think that's just a great looking pose, a great image. Okay. Go down here where we got John Romita Jr. from his All-Star Batman, I believe. A little bit difference on the costume there. Looks good though. This is another one from Batman Gotham Knights animated show. Not sure who the sculptor is on that. It might be on the box, I'm not sure. A leather Lee Bermejo signed Batman Black and White statue, this time of Harley Quinn. Paul Pope, Batman Black and White. This one I kind of refrained from buying it first because I was kind of cold on Paul Pope's art at first from Batman 100, but later on I became a fan of that different style that he has. This one's pretty massive. This Norm Brayfogle Batman Black and White statue. I think Norm had already passed by the time this came out. I think, or maybe it was right around the time he passed. He would have been thrilled with it though. Very underrated Batman artist, even though he had done it for quite a while. And we got over here, we've got more representation of Carmine Infantino Batman, but this time in the Batman Black and White statues. One of Batman, just based specifically on '60s Batman that he helped define, and the Robin, same period. Another Bruce Timm Batman black and white statue, this time a Batgirl, not signed unfortunately. We'll get that sometime. You'll notice in the background I've got a lot of books here. Big Spirit fan. Also, heads up to anybody out there, you'll notice I've got a gap in between 13 and 15. I am missing issue 14. I have all the rest after 15 too. 14 is so hard to get. If anybody's got one, they want to sell it to me, let me know. It's just I've been watching lots of them for a couple of years now. I haven't found one I wanted. Sean Gordon Murphy, Batman White Knight now. Great pose. It's cool how they support him with the cape. On this bookshelf, I got all the really big Batman black and whites. Right below that, I got the Becky Cloonan. Look, and again, look at the cape on this. It's crazy. Not signed yet either. And again, another big cape and pretty pretty active pose. Very different from all the other poses. Tony Daniel, Batman black and white. Okay, below that I have a Hiro Kuwata. Kind of looks like the Batman '66 series. I think he's like an anime specific type of guy. Not exactly sure. I don't remember who did this Batman black and white. I was looking through the different pictures and couldn't find out who it is. So let me know in the comments below, guys, because I forgot. And it is a popular artist from, you know, fairly recently. Manapool, maybe? Okay, and then we got a Gene Colan Batman black and white. This is like number 99 or 98 of the series. Just read that. Not sure where they got this pose from. I'm not sure what he's doing there either. Almost looks like he's surfing. Okay. So as we go on up, across the way, Liam Sharp. Some other art on the walls. And I got some more, actually I got some more Batman statues up on this bookshelf. Just gonna get my We've got another, this is the first Neal Adams Batman black and white statue they did. Again, signed by Neal, and I guess by Spida again, because I guess he sculpted this one again. But this is that dynamic pose that they used in advertising Batman in the comics in the 70s. Of course, he was in his gray and blue then. You can see right above him a nice sketch by Neal that I had him personalized to me. Behind him, another Frank Miller Batman black and white. You might remember that one from one of the early issues. That one's not signed though. Then we got this pretty dynamic Doug Mahnke Batman pose. A lot of action in that one. Got to get him to sign that one too. And Jim Aparo's Batman black and white came after he had passed also. Up top I got a Tony Millionaire Batman black and white, and that one is signed by Tony. This one you can still get pretty cheap, even though it's quite a few years old. People just don't appreciate it, I guess. It was from the Batman black and white comics, but I guess they don't like him looking goofy. I think he's kind of cool looking. Carlos Deanda, Batman with really chunky boots there. This one's also signed by Carlos. Down here we got, this is from the Arkham City. This is actually not a resin statue. It's actually plastic, but it's Batman black and white, so I included it on my collection. Sam Keith, which needs to be signed also. Next to some of my horror stuff and my spirit bust. And we got down here Jason Fabok. I asked him about this. I asked him how what he thought about, you know, how it came out. He didn't seem too thrilled. I guess he didn't think it came out as close to his design as he wanted to. He signed that one in silver. Brian Hitch. Raphael Albuquerque. This is a pretty cool looking one. And I guess this is from one of the stories, not sure. It's some cape he's got going there with the wind. This is another Gerard Way Batman black and white statue, this time of Batman. And another Frank Miller Batman black and white, this time of the Joker. And then we got our last few here. We got another Spirit, this time a statue. I'm a big Will Eisner fan, lucky to have one of his pages in my collection. Another Brian Boland Batman black and white statue. Another Mignola. This one from Gotham by Gaslight, which I really like those Elsewhere stories. So otherwise, the newer statues are getting kind of expensive. They started off with these statues around $60, and now they're twice that. And then my new addition that I added just this week, Frank Quitely. I hope you liked today's episode of Lee's comic art page. I enjoyed showing it to everybody, even though it took me a long time to clean up and set up the figures or statues. Okay, take care.